Stories of the Bible. Daniel in the Lion's Den. This is Daniel.
Oh, hey!
Who was a Jewish man who was taken to Babylon when he was very young.
Yeah.
Daniel loved God and followed God's rules. He talked to God 3 times a day and asked God for help often. Daniel served in the Babylonian king's court for many years.
Yeah, I know him.
And under many kings.
Hey, Daniel.
Daniel always proved himself to be more capable than all the other court officials.
Thanks. Well, anytime.
Daniel was serving under King Darius, and because of his great abilities, the king made plans to place him in charge of the entire empire.
Wow, okay.
The other court officials searched for some fault in Daniel, but they couldn't find anything wrong with him. He was faithful, responsible, and completely trustworthy.
Wait.
The court officials realized the only way to get at Daniel would be to challenge his faith.
Come on.
So they went to King Darius
Excuse me, Your Majesty.
and advised him to make a law that for the next 30 days, any person who prays to anyone except King Darius will be thrown into the lion's den.
I like it.
King Darius signed this law, and once a Babylonian king signed a law, it could not be overruled. When Daniel learned of this law, he went home and knelt down, as he always did, to pray in his room with the windows open towards Jerusalem. He prayed 3 times a day, just as he always had done, giving thanks to God and asking for his help. The officials went to Daniel's house and found him praying.
Gotcha.
They went to the king and reminded him of the law.
I remember.
Well...
Then they said that Daniel had been found praying to God 3 times a day.
What?
When the king heard this, he was very upset,
Get over here.
and he spent the whole day trying to think of a way to save Daniel.
Wait, what?
By that evening, the court officials came back to the king and reminded him that no law signed by the Babylonian king could be overruled. So at last, the king gave orders for Daniel to be thrown into the lion's den. The king said to him, "May your God, who you serve faithfully, rescue you." Then the lion's den was sealed shut with Daniel inside. The king spent the night fasting and couldn't sleep. Then very early in the morning, the king hurried to the lion's den. He called out,
Hey, Daniel.
"Was your God able to rescue you from the lions?" And Daniel answered, "Long live the king! My God sent his angel to shut the lions' mouths so that they would not hurt me, for I have been found innocent in his sight." The king was overjoyed and ordered that Daniel be taken out of the lion's den. Then the king ordered the men who had schemed against Daniel to be thrown into the lion's den as punishment. Daniel was safe. There was not a scratch on him, for he trusted in God.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed that story. It's one of my favorite Bible stories. Today we are going to draw just a simple lion's face, step by step. So I'm going to draw straight with black marker. So if I mess up, I'm just gonna mess up. So it would be best if you draw first with a pencil and then trace with a black marker and then color them with color pencil or crayon. But I'm gonna go pretty slow and I'm gonna draw with black marker just so you can see my bold lines and be able to see what I'm doing a little bit easier. First, for what we're going to do is we're just going to draw the large lion's head, and we're going to do like a zigzag oval. So I'm going to go up, down, up, down, all the way around in an oval. It's going to kind of look like a furry monster at first, kind of like we're drawing a monster that would look like it's on Monsters, Inc., okay, a big zigzag monster. But this is going to end up being the mane to the lion. So we're going to go out, down, out, down, out, down. All right, so we have our big zigzag oval. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to draw the lion's ears. So we're going to draw a line this way and a line this way. Kind of looks like eyebrows on our big furry monster now. And then we're going to turn those into ears by doing rainbow arch on top. Rainbow arch shape on top. Rainbow arch shape on top. Smaller one inside. Smaller one inside. Okay. Next, we're going to draw the top of the lion's face right here. And we're going to do that if you've ever drawn like a bird flying through the sky, kind of like this with a stretched out M shape. That's kind of the shape that's going to be right here. We're going to do like a stretched out M shape, kind of like a bird in flight. I'm going to trace over it so you can see what I did a little bit easier. Okay. Like that. Then we're going to bring it down just a little. Bring it down just a little. Loop it out just a little. Loop it out just a little. That's going to be the start of the shape of his face. Now, kind of even where that little line is, I'm going to start by doing the top of his nose. It's going to kind of look like a heart shape. It's the kind of the stretched out M shape, just like we did on the top of his forehead. But then we're going to bring it down like a triangle. Bring it down like a triangle. So his nose is kind of like a heart. All right. Next, we're going to do the circle shapes that kind of go around their around their nose areas, or like their jowls where their whiskers come out. We do that by connecting the top of the nose to this part of the face and then back around. So watch, I'm going to go from the corner of the nose to this little line, like that. Corner of the nose to this little line, like that. But then I'm going to connect this back to the nose. Connect this back to the nose. So it's making like a circle shape. And then I can do some little dots in here, some whiskers if I want. Okay, this is where his mouth would be, right here. But right here underneath their mouth, they have like a big furry chin. So I'm going to go down, down, and then give lots of fur kind of right here. Give it the look that it's got a big furry chin around there. Now that we have that, we're going to draw his face. We're going to go up, up, to kind of give the bridge of the nose. And now we're going to give his eyes. If you've ever thrown a football, his eyes are kind of like a football shape. Now how you draw the football shape is you draw a stretched out rainbow arch shape. Stretched out rainbow arch shape. Now, it doesn't matter as much if the mane is perfectly symmetrical or if you have a little bit more fur in some parts than others, or give a couple of extra little details around like this. So the mane doesn't have to be very symmetrical, because a lion's mane is not necessarily going to look on both sides, but his eyes will probably be pretty close to the same shape. I bet not all lions have exactly the same shape, left eyes, right eye. Make them a little unique. But we want about the same size rainbow arch on both sides. But remember, the mane doesn't have to be symmetrical, and symmetrical means same on both sides. You can add some extra tufts of fur. Now, his eyes kind of look like they're closed right now, like he's squinting. So we're going to give his eyes open. So we're now going to do kind of like a smiley face shape at the bottom. Smiley face shape at the bottom. Like that. All right. Now we're going to do a circle inside. Circle inside. Black dot inside. Black dot inside. And then before you would color this, you could give it a little white circle right there. And before you color in his eyes golden or brown, those little white circles that you put next to the pupils will be little light reflections. So then you can go back in and add some more details on his mane, add some little lines in his mane, add some extra fur tufts coming here and there. But then you have your pretty cool lion. You can add a background. You can go ahead and draw in the body if you want. But we're going to stop right here just at the face of the lion. I hope you enjoyed that. Then you trace over it with a black marker, color it in with crayons or color pencils. We want to stay with a neutral color palette with like tans and browns, with maybe a little bit of warm color like goldens and yellows, maybe a teeny bit of orange here and there. So we'd want to stay with warm colors and neutral colors for your lion. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed the story of Daniel in the Lion's Den, and I'd love to see some of your pictures. You can send them to me. Talk to you later.